Welcome back. Your time 6:55. Here now, the top stories of the morning. Thousands of Safeway workers getting ready to strike if there's no deal by midnight tonight. Unions seeking better pay, benefits, and scheduling protections. Safeway is getting ready for the labor strike, posting hundreds of temporary grocery positions across Northern California. After 6 years, the Gilroy Garlic Festival is back today in Gilroy. In 2019, a mass shooting left 3 people dead, led organizers to change locations. Now returning to Gilroy with new safety measures and a new venue, the Gilroy Gardens. Tickets are already sold out. Businesses in Manteca say they're impacted by a mile-long road project, which is aimed at making Main Street safer by adding bike lanes, new signs, crosswalks, and a concrete median. Business owners, though, say they were not notified about this project initially, and the construction now blocks customers from entering and exiting their stores. And this Sunday is the last chance to head to the State Fair. If you haven't been there yet, still time. Today, the fair is working with SMUD to host a food drive in exchange for a free same-day ticket. Donations are being accepted at Cal Expo today, only between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monica? Oh, it's going to be a great day. Friday forecast. Take a live look outside. We have a few clouds out there. Had some storms rolling through yesterday. 50s to near 60 to start us off on this Friday. 40s right now with clear skies for Tahoe. Highs today in the valley. In the 80s as well as the foothills. Near 70 for the Tahoe Basin. Lots of fog in San Francisco. 66 degrees. We'll be tracking those thunderstorms today throughout this year on parts of the foothills and the northern end of the valley. Highs a little bit warmer by Sunday. We're in the mid-80s. Low 90s early next week, right back to the 80s as we end this gorgeous July and start off August. Love it. All right, be sure to join us following this newscast on ABC 10 Plus. We'll continue to bring you the latest news along with more weather and traffic updates from 7 to 8 a.m. Again, it's all available to you on ABC 10 Plus. Join us. Love to have you. There's a beautiful shot of the Truckee bypass on this Friday morning. An absolutely beautiful day.
ABC 10 Morning News at 7 starts now.
All right, thank you for joining us on ABC 10 Plus. I'm Walt Gray. A night of thunder and lightning across much of Northern California. Most of that activity near Yuba City, but a couple of storms did move through Auburn and Lincoln, Roseville, seeing some activity as well. And in the Sierra, thunderstorms are popping up throughout the course of the night. And a fire sparking in the area. Some of those lightning strikes. Crews battling a brush fire in south of Forest Hill. It's the Sleeger fire burning off a Sleeger Mine Road just below Greenwood Lake Estates. This is on the El Dorado side. Firefighters say at least 15 acres have burned, but forward progress has been stopped. Monica, you've been talking a lot in the days leading up to this that thunder and lightning could be an issue, and it comes with no rain.
Right. And so with that dry lightning, it's going to elevate the fire risk. We also have a variety of weather coming through this morning into our Friday. Look at this across Walnut Grove. Some of that low cloudiness trying to move its way in from the coast, just kind of seeing below into our beautiful Delta. As we take a look around the region, Marin County, where we expect the fog, it is pretty much socked in right now. Placer County started off with a little bit of that low cloudiness, saw some actual accumulating rain there. El Dorado County with some haziness and low clouds, Amador County, some higher level clouds, and the evidence of some instability is still out there. Precipitation since midnight picked up 3/100ths of an inch for Auburn. Other areas did see a light bit of rain come through. Nothing in the rain bucket, though. Satellite and radar showcasing some of the clouds still streaming through Northern California with a little bit of shower activity north of Fort Bragg. Meantime, temperatures starting us off on this Friday in the 50s and low 60s in the valley and towards the coast, even through the foothills, and 40s up top for the Sierra, but expecting once again that dry lightning. That means lightning, no wetting rain, and it could spark some new fires. We'll be tracking that throughout the day, pretty much in the high zone here for the lightning potential of significant fire development. Severe weather outlook for our Friday. It's going to play out pretty similar to yesterday, although the chance of valley thunderstorms will be just to the north of Yuba City. For our Saturday forecast, still looking at that risk of thunderstorms, meaning if you have any recreation plans up in the high country, just be aware of rapidly changing conditions. Today, our weather impact headlines are topped by that Sierra storm risk as well as elevated fire potential. Valley morning clouds tomorrow, then clearing, but more Sierra storms. Looking deeper into the forecast, we've got warming ahead. It's hard to complain, though. Look at the rundown of July. So much blue up here on this map, and that indicates below average temperatures. So far, our average high for the month is at 89.8 degrees. The average high should be at 93, and we only had one 100-degree day in there. That's going to be close to what we saw in 1993 because it very much looks like we won't have another 100-degree day for the month. Last time we saw no 100s for the month was 2004. A look at that average high temperature in comparison to what we saw last year. We had 98.5 degrees and 16 days in the 100s. Futurecast showing the low pressure system moving through the state. That is really going to add to the instability right through the weekend forecast. But as that high pressure ridge builds back, so does the more stable atmosphere. Less thunderstorms for the Sierra, but more warmth for the valley. Highs today in the Sierra for this Friday, 70s and 80s through the foothills with 60s along the coast. It is very foggy along the coast, a bit breezy for coastal valley communities. 80s to near 90 for inland areas, including the capital region, in the low to mid 90s this afternoon. A look at our regional forecast. We'll continue to see that opportunity of thunderstorms for the Sierra. And for our extended forecast, well, we are going to see the warming coming into play, especially by early next week, where highs will be in the low 90s, putting us a little bit closer to average. Well,
all right, 7:05. Let's do a quick traffic stop here, see how things are going on this Friday, where things have been really good. Obviously, we've got some issues on the heading towards the causeway, heading to the causeway from West Sacramento to Davis. It is slowing, but it is not stopped. Let's see what's happening Tracy to Livermore. Obviously, that's usually our big backup. Not happening today. Everything on Friday is usually much lighter. Drive times into Sacramento, Stockton and Modesto, good. Tracy to Livermore, just 29 minutes. At times, Monday through Thursday, that could be 55 minutes. And into downtown Sacramento, Elk Grove and El Dorado Hills, both going along very nicely. There is a closure set to take effect tonight along I-5 north of Twin Cities Road. One lane heading northbound will close tonight at 9. The closure runs through 9 tomorrow night. Caltrans says to expect delays and consider using Highway 99 as an alternate route. And if you're trying to get to Davis or the Bay Area this morning, watch out for the new I-80 lane shift. It starts just after the westbound US 50 and I-80 junction and realigns westbound lanes through the Yolo Causeway and Childs Road. Drivers will merge into the existing lanes of westbound I-80. The traffic change is needed for crews to work on a new concrete median barrier. Work is expected to be wrapped up in May. The Davis stabbing suspect Carlos Dominguez will get a new trial. He is accused of killing 2 men and injuring a woman during a 2023 stabbing spree in Davis. He'll be tried again on charges of attempted murder and manslaughter. The previous jury could not come to a unanimous decision on those charges, leading to a mistrial. The idea of a confidential settlement conference was brought up, but a decision wasn't made on that. So the new trial for Dominguez begins January 20th of next year. And this morning, thousands of grocery store workers getting ready to walk out of work in a union strike that could impact dozens of local communities. ABC10's Garjpal Sangha now has more on the impending Safeway strike.
In the foothills of El Dorado County, the Safeway in Pollock Pines isn't just a grocery store, it is the grocery store. And as a possible strike looms, some here are already thinking about its impact.
It's kind of rough for us up here.
There's no other store here. They're going to have to go all the way down to Placerville to go get something there.
3 unions said nearly 25,000 workers at Safeway and Albertson locations across northern and central California are ready to strike if there is no deal by midnight Friday.
We're in round-the-clock negotiations.
Union leaders say they're seeking better pay, benefits, and scheduling protections for members.
Safeway can afford it. In 2023, Safeway paid a dividend to their shareholders, over a $4 billion dividend to their shareholders.
Safeway, meanwhile, is preparing if there is a labor strike. The company posted job openings online for hundreds of temporary workers, offering nearly $28 an hour. One Safeway worker in the Bay Area telling the ABC station this.
And they're hiring them at $27 an hour, $27.73 to be exact, which is an insane amount to be paying somebody. It makes us feel like, they don't care about the people that are already working here.
Customers we spoke with in Pollock Pines support the workers.
I wish them the best in that fight, and I know it's an uphill battle, but keep pushing on, keep fighting that good fight.
I know their prices are higher than a lot of the other places, so I know they're making some money on this, but they should at least have some of it trickle down to their employees.
In a statement, Safeway said in part, quote, "We remain committed to productive, good faith negotiations with the UFCW locals in Northern California. We have scheduled bargaining sessions this week and continue to work with the federal mediator." Reporting in Pollock Pines, Garjpal Sangha, ABC 10.
So according to the Safeway website, there are 240 Safeway locations across California, 20 within the greater Sacramento region. These locations all at risk of seeing a strike if a deal is not reached by midnight tonight. And after a 6-year hiatus, the Gilroy Garlic Festival is back today. Organizers closed it in 2019 after that mass shooting that left 3 people dead. It's now back with safety measures and a new venue, Gilroy Gardens. But even if you want to go this weekend, tickets have sold out. The festival has limited capacity to just 3,000 people per day. According to the festival website, there are no more tickets available, and you could still add your name to a wait list for a chance to attend this weekend should tickets become available. And this is the last weekend for the California State Fair, Cal Expo, and there is a way for you to get into the fair for free today and also support a good cause. ABC 10's Candace Red live at Cal Expo with full details. Candace, how do we get in for free?
Well, good morning to you. I know you're just as excited as I am for the California State Fair. Giving you a live look right behind me. As you can see, we're coming to you live from Cal Expo. And Walt, as you mentioned, there is a way for people to get into the State Fair for free and support our communities. So the California State Fair is helping to fight hunger right here in Sacramento. The fair is working with SMUD to host a food drive where people are encouraged to donate at least 5 non-perishable food items. Donations are being accepted at the fairgrounds. Now, if you donate, you will be able to get into the fair fair for free. But just keep in mind that it's for today only. Donations support the Sacramento Food Bank. We spoke with SMUD specifically about the importance of this program. It's called SMUD Giving Friday.
We'll be at multiple gates at the State Fair. You can't miss us. We'll be near the giant California signage that you see at the front gate. And it's very simple. We'll have multiple volunteers from SMUD and the food bank collecting food. And it really makes a big difference. Last year alone, we collected 19,000 pounds to help restore the food shelves at our local food banks. So this is a really important event, and we're proud to support it.
It's such a great cause. According to the Sacramento Food Bank, 1 in 4 people are at risk of hunger in Sacramento County. Last year, the food bank provided more than 33 million meals to people in need. Well, you can help too by donating food right here at the California State Fair. Taking a look at your screen, here's a list of some of the items needed most. Canned meat like tuna and chicken, canned beans, peanut butter, soups and stews, canned fruits and veggies. The donations are being accepted at Cal Expo. Again, it's for today only between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Again, once you donate, you'll be able to get a free ticket to the fair, but just keep in mind that that ticket must be used by today, and that would be by 3 p.m. You have to enter the fair by 3 p.m. But keep in mind that you also can get a stamp on your hand if you need to leave. That will allow you to be able to come back into the fair. I know this was a lot of information, but no need to worry. We have all the details on our website. That's ABC10.com. For now, live at Cal Expo in Sacramento, Candace Red, ABC10.
All right, we got it, Candace. All right, thank you so much for that. And coming up here, an on-camera argument at the Federal Reserve leading to potential impacts on the stock market today. The background behind this high-profile beef. Marquez Allen riding the rails.
This train has fire. Yeah, coming up this morning on live television, you're going to meet a train that's been featured in more movies than Tom Hanks and Samuel L. Jackson combined. But this train has much more history to offer. Coming up in a moment, what it's done and what it's going to do and how you can meet it. As ABC 10 Morning News continues, this locomotive has fire. You're going to get to know it.
(7:15) this morning, the Justice Department preparing to make a second visit to meet with Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with more.
This morning, President Trump turning to social media, blaming Democrats for using the Jeffrey Epstein controversy to distract from his first 6 months in office. Trump comparing the investigation to what he called the Russia hoax, saying, quote, "They have gone absolutely crazy," adding, "As things are revealed, and I hope will take place quickly, you will see that it is yet another Democrat con job." But the pressure to release the files is a bipartisan effort, Democrats and Republicans demanding answers.
I want all the information out.
Just put everything out, make it as transparent as you can.
Release the damn files.
It comes as the Deputy Attorney General prepares to meet again today with Ghislaine Maxwell, following a 6-hour meeting Thursday. The closed-door meeting is part of the Justice Department's investigation into how Epstein evaded accountability for decades. Although sources say it was Maxwell who reached out to the DOJ to request the meeting.
Well, she answered all the questions and answered them honestly.
It comes amid new concerns for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. Democratic lawmaker Ayanna Pressley, a sexual assault survivor herself, with this warning.
I fear that we've lost the plot, that people have gotten so caught up in what they perceive to be the political gamesmanship and sport of this, that they are losing sight of the survivors.
Annie Farmer sharing her story with ABC News, saying she was lured by Maxwell and Epstein to his New Mexico ranch when she was underage.
It's very disappointing that these things are happening behind closed doors without any input from the people that the government asked to come forward and speak against her in order to put her away. You know, there were so many young girls and women that were harmed by her.
Maxwell is serving a 20-year prison sentence for sex trafficking and other charges. She's currently appealing her conviction to the Supreme Court. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Speaking of the president, he visited the Federal Reserve, ramping up his efforts to pressure the Fed Chair Jerome Powell to lower interest rates. Yesterday, Trump made a rare visit to the Fed building to challenge Powell on the building's multi-billion-dollar renovation cost. Cameras were rolling. The president pulled out a sheet of paper, surprising the Fed chair with an updated and new price tag for the ongoing project.
It looks like it's about $3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
There you go. Powell responded to the president, saying that number factors in construction that was completed 5 years ago. All this comes as the president pressures Powell to bring down interest rates. Despite their disagreement, Trump told reporters afterwards he still has no plans to fire Powell, whom he hired in his first administration. And from rising prices to immigration rallies, many California restaurants are struggling. One business owner turned to social media to speak from the heart. ABC10 contributor Jasmine Vile has the latest.
This is the video Jay Tugas posted to social media recently to show the silence inside his Silver Lake restaurant on Sunset.
It actually went viral. So.
No sizzling pans, no bustling servers, just an empty dining room.
It's been really difficult.
Tugas later shared this striking image of himself alone in the kitchen, head in his hands.
We just decided, me and my partner, just to share, like, this is what's going on.
Raymond Yaptonchai, Tugas's partner at Spoon and Pork LA, says they wanted to give a raw and honest snapshot of what small restaurants are up against right now.
It's not just us. Every restaurant is going through the same thing.
They are both Filipino immigrants and childhood friends who decided to open up a restaurant 5 years ago to serve the modern Filipino comfort food they grew up with.
So this is our lumpiang Shanghai.
Nowadays, it's just him, Tugas, and their wives doing the job of several employees to keep the doors open here, already having to close their other location in Sawtell.
This summer especially, it's been crazy because we've had to really keep it down to just us.
It's the rising cost of ingredients and tariffs squeezing supply chains.
Most of our goods, since we're like a Filipino restaurant, is imported from Asia. They're all up like 15 to 30%.
And the added pressure recent immigration raids have placed on both his staff and his customers.
My dishwasher didn't want to go to work, and it really affects us. Like, for us to close a day it's huge. Like, we can't afford that.
This restaurant being recognized for its award-winning food since it opened in 2019, more than half a dozen awards hanging on the walls.
Such skilled cooks. The two of them are such skilled cooks. This is their dream.
A dream built from a food truck. This Filipino restaurant's fight to survive is a reminder behind every dish there is a story, one Yaptonchai hopes to be able to keep sharing.
Hopefully, we can turn things around.
All right, good luck to those guys. Coming up, we'll have a look at the top stories we're following to help get you out the door. Stay with us. This is an ABC 10 morning news update. I'm Walt Gray, and here's what's happening on this Friday morning. Thousands of Safeway workers getting ready to strike if there's no deal by midnight tonight. Union workers asking for better pay, benefits, and scheduling protections. Safeway getting ready for the labor strike, posting hundreds of temporary grocery jobs across the valley. Davis stabbing suspect Carlos Dominguez now set for a new trial. He's accused of killing two men and injuring a woman during a stabbing spree 2 years ago in Davis. The previous jury could not come to a unanimous decision, leading to a mistrial. His new trial will be January 20th of next year. After 6 years, the Gilroy Garlic Festival is back today. In 2019, a mass shooting left 3 people dead, which led organizers to change locations. It's returning now with safety measures and a new venue, Gilroy Gardens. Tickets, though, are sold out.
Checking on our Friday forecast, we saw an active weather pattern yesterday with areas of thunderstorms rolling through. Just a hint of that cloud cover streaming through today. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s for the valley. For Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, and Marysville. Tahoe right now still clear at 47, but expect those thunderstorms this afternoon. Highs up top near 70, 80s down low, 60s along the coast. But again, that chance of thunderstorms for the Sierra and parts of the north end of the valley. Highs will warm into the low 90s early next week.
All right, let's get a traffic stop. Everything looks really good for the moment in greater Sacramento, West Sacramento. That's unusual. And check out Tracy to Livermore. It's about as good as it gets, as a matter of fact. Not much issue there. Modesto into San Jose, Sac to San Francisco, all good. The Tracy to Livermore, just 29 minutes. Everything into downtown Sacramento is great. All right, thank you for joining us. We are on ABC10 Plus. I'm Walt Gray. Let's give you some new video this morning. Weather stuff, pretty amazing. Overnight lightning strikes between Roseville and Sacramento along Interstate 80. Bam, just like that. So it was Yuba City got it, Lincoln, Auburn, that region. Monica, you've been warning us for a couple of days now, and the governor was preparing for this too, dispatching extra crews in the event of these dry lightning strikes sparking fires.
Right, and we had a little one develop yesterday that got containment pretty quickly. Not a whole lot of wetting rain, but we did see 3/100ths of an inch of rain since midnight for Auburn. Other areas getting just a light bit of rain coming through, not much in the rain bucket though. Marin County, it is a foggy start to the day. Now Placer County as well as El Dorado County, you can see a little bit of that haze and low cloudiness. It has been burning off pretty quickly. Amador County currently, we have some higher level cloud cover, still some instability and the chance of some thunderstorms. Walnut Grove getting a taste of that onshore flow. Marine stratus coming through. Earlier, it was pretty socked in, but we could see just peaks of Walnut Grove below in the beautiful Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. Low pressure system bringing in the cloud cover, that counterclockwise circulation, as well as instability for our Friday forecast. Temperatures currently in the 40s for this year with 50s and 60s down low. We've got 50s along the coast as well. Our fire danger is going to be elevated, as Walt was mentioning, isolated dry lightning, the potential of some lightning sparked fires for today. And that puts us in the red zone here, right through the Sierra Spine, along 395 and just east of the crest. But the expanding risk of thunderstorms goes through the foothills as well as parts of the north end of the valley for today and again for tomorrow. Any recreation that you have going on in the foothills and the Sierra, make sure you are storm ready. And that's why we top our weather impact headlines with the Sierra storms today, as well as that elevated fire risk. Tomorrow we start off with some valley morning clouds. They'll clear quickly. More Sierra storms in store for tomorrow afternoon and warming ahead deeper into the forecast. But hard to complain. I mean, when you see all this blue on the map in July, you know it's been a pretty good July. Average high so far, 89.8 degrees. So much different than last year, where we had 16 days in the 100s. Today, this year, one 100-degree day. Same as 1993. Now, the last time we didn't see any 100-degree days was back in 2004. So it's certainly not unheard of. It's just such a change from last year, where, again, we were tracking over 15 days above 100 degrees, and that average high came in at 98.5. Right now, we're just below 90. Low pressure system feeds us with that nice onshore flow, but also gives us the instability that will continue into our weekend outlook. Once this high pressure ridge builds back, so does the stability, and that will decrease the potential of that active weather pattern in the Sierra. In the meantime, chance of thunderstorms today, highs in the 70s for the Sierra with 70s and 80s down low. Across the coast, highs in the 60s with 80s inland. We'll see that all the way through the valley. Overnight lows will drop into the 50s. But again, we start off Saturday morning with cloud cover. Capital region, our highs in the 80s for today, staying below average. Chance of thunderstorms continues for this Sierra through Sunday. Slight chance of thunderstorms today for the foothills and for the coast. More low clouds and fog. Highs in the 60s. Our extended forecast, we get through our unseasonably cool weather this weekend. A little warmer early next week. We wrap up July, begin August with highs back in the 80s.
All right, let's see what's happening on the roadways right now. Your traffic impact. Not much, which is good. Sometimes the good news is a story, too. West Sacramento into Davis, all good. Tracy to Livermore, even that, which this time of day can be not pleasant. We're finding on Fridays everything is pretty light. Modesto, Sacramento, San Francisco, San Jose, good. There's the Tracy to Livermore at the bottom, just a 29-minute commute. Everything into Sacramento from Stockton, Roseville, Yuba City, all good to go. 7:34, breaking news. Authorities searching for a gunman behind a deadly shooting at the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque. We're told one person was killed, another was wounded. This happened this morning at the Casas del Rio dormitory complex. The campus is shut down. Students are sheltering in place. We will keep you posted. Again, shooting at the University of New Mexico. Now to the extreme weather across the country. Dangerous flash floods in the southwest. Brutal heat spreading to the East Coast. It will feel like triple digits along the eastern seaboard today. Here's ABC's Andrew Timbert.
This morning, weather extremes from scorching heat in the east to dangerous flooding in the west. This mobile home in Ruidoso, New Mexico, swept away by raging floodwaters.
Our poor town.
Monsoon rain hitting the village's burn scar left behind from last year's wildfires, triggering torrents of mud. Flooding in the area earlier this month killed 3 people, 2 of them children. The National Weather Service says it's issued more flood warnings this year than any other year dating back to 1986. Experts say climate change is causing many areas to experience what's known as weather whiplash, rapid swings between extremes in weather. One example, Central Texas. Before that catastrophic flooding on July 4th, the region had been parched by drought. Scientists say these events are likely to become more frequent, with heat being the driving force. Showers provided much-needed relief to parts of Arkansas as a heat wave grips the state. But that heat isn't going away anytime soon. More than 140 million Americans are on alert from Texas to Maine, with feel-like temperatures topping 105 in some places.
Especially children and the elderly, they really need to stay hydrated. But even people who are healthy and running and jogging, if they're not staying hydrated, they start to cramp up, they get a little dizzy, and the next thing you know, they're calling an ambulance, and here we are.
Across the country, extreme heat causes more deaths each year than any other weather event. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
California continues to fight the Trump administration over AmeriCorps funding. Yesterday, Attorney General Rob Bonta, along with 22 other attorneys general, amended their ongoing legal challenge of the president's attempt to cut the program. They've added the White House Office of Management and Budget, or OMB, as a defendant in their lawsuit for withholding tens of millions of dollars in funding. In June, Bonta secured a court order that reinstated hundreds of AmeriCorps programs that were unlawfully canceled. Bonta claims, despite the order, OMB is withholding the money intended for outstanding service programs. The president signing a new executive order meant to change how local communities manage homelessness. The order makes it easier to remove homeless people from public streets. It also redirects federal resources so affected homeless people are transferred to facilities for rehabilitation and substance abuse. Additionally, the order says it'll fast-track federal funds to cities that implement harsher camping and drug use laws, mirroring a policy push by the governor, who recently said cities that allow for illegal camping could see their state funding pulled. Meantime, we're now seeing some of the numbers of one of Governor Newsom's most touted strategies cracking down on homeless. It is Care Court. Implemented statewide in December, it allows for family members to petition courts requesting they help get a loved one off the streets and into a more stable environment. To qualify, somebody must be an adult with a diagnosis of schizophrenia, spectrum, or other psychotic disorders with severe and persistent symptoms and not already stabilized. Sacramento County has had 75 petitions on behalf of individuals. Of those, just 10 people are on care agreements as we speak.
A care agreement can be all sorts of different things, housing supports, therapy, medication, really anything that our service providers can offer.
Sacramento County Behavioral Health says if someone doesn't qualify for Care Court, they will still try to get services to that individual. And a federal appeals court ruling California's law requiring background checks to buy bullets is unconstitutional. The law was passed by voters in 2016 and took effect in 2019. The ruling upholds a 2024 decision by a lower court that found the state law violates the Second Amendment. The judge saying if people can't buy bullets, they can't use their guns for self-defense. And in Manteca, several businesses say they're already feeling the impact of a mile-long road project, and they're not happy about it. The project is aimed at making a mile of Main Street safer by adding bike lanes, new signs, crosswalks, and a concrete median. The multi-million-dollar project was approved by City Council back in December, but business owners on Main Street say they were only notified about it after the plans had already been approved. Construction started just weeks ago, and that's when business owners realized many of the turn lanes that allowed people on both sides of the busy street to get in and out of their stores, those were being removed.
It's been really, really down. I mean, we've had, we used to average about, 15 to 20 retail customers, and now we're at like 5 or 6. So it's been down, and it's hurt our retail side really, really bad.
We did reach out to the city for an interview. We've yet to hear back. Business owners say there's still a chance the city can add in the extra turn lanes. Construction is set to end, though, in August. And this morning, there's a new outdoor store. It's set to open its doors in Elk Grove. The city is getting their first REI location this morning. Grand opening is in an hour and 20 minutes. That's along Stockton Boulevard to Laguna Gateway. Like all REIs, the location has a lot of outdoor equipment, camping, biking, boating, hiking. REI says they are also donating $10,000 to the local nonprofit Runnin' for Rhett, which promotes youth fitness and movement. Are you planning a camping trip soon? Maybe you're going to REI today and then heading on out. There's a new reservation system implemented for California state parks. Here's the site. State Park says it'll make it easier for visitors to find their perfect campsite. Visitors can now access campground availability on this website, parks.ca.gov, and book a campsite in just a few clicks. All part of a customer-focused reservation upgrade announced by California State Parks. And this weekend, a Sacramento event happening in Oak Park meant to celebrate history and community. ABC10's Chris Thomas takes us along for the ride to the Black Cowboys Parade.
Boots will be on the ground this weekend in Sacramento's Oak Park neighborhood for the Black Cowboys Parade.
So a lot of people don't know that Black Cowboys are our history. They call it Black history, but it's American history. We're going to do a parade from Sac High down 35th to McClatchy Park.
You can expect prancing horses, marching bands, and of course, line dancing. The event is meant to tell the history of black pioneers in America, many of which were cowboys.
It started out kind of small. This is the third year, and it's grown exponentially in the 3 years we've had it. And it's just the unifying, it's unity in the community.
The event will also feature a blues music festival at McClatchy Park.
We're going to have fun. We're going to have great food. We're going to have Christopher Williams, singing on the mic. But really, the take is the horses, the young people, and the great history of black cowboys.
A few of the horses and young talented riders stop by ABC10 to strut their stuff and invite the community to the family fun event that happens to include a barbecue cook-off.
Big barbecue cook-off. You're going to want to come and see that. We got some young men and ladies that have been working and getting geared up for this to bring you a barbecue experience you'll never forget. And we want to do this every year in Oak Park, just to show the history, the great history of the Black Cowboys.
The Black Cowboys Parade and Down Home Blues Music Festival is this Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Oak Park. Tickets are $15 in advance and $20 at the door. We have more information on our website, abc10.com.
All right, Chris, whether you're searching for new shoes, maybe new furniture, best to be prepared and have a plan the next time you hit Goodwill. What you want to look out for to score big on a budget. Mark S. Allen, all aboard.
Look at this movie star. It is Sierra number 3, built in 1891. You'll have to excuse me for a moment. I've always wanted to do this. A little bit of that. Coming up. We don't need roads. This train has been in more movies and more TV shows than almost any actor. And coming up in a moment, for the very first time on live TV, it's going to be moving. We'll be right back. Welcome back to ABC10 Morning News. We are in Jamestown, standing in front of the old Sierra number 3. For those of you who don't know, Sierra number 3, built in 1891. It is a legendary locomotive engine. You connect it to the other cars, that's when it becomes a train, but right now it's just an engine about to make history. Hey, it's my new friend Bart. Bart Grant, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Okay, I'm the park supervisor here at Railtown 1897 State Historic Park, so kind of run everything here, the operation of the railroad in the park.
Yeah, very exciting. This is put back into operation at least a couple times a month. People can actually experience it, ride in cars, the train, if you will, attached to this historical monument.
Yes, that's correct. So between April and October is our excursion season. We run trains every weekend, and we alternate between the steam engines and the diesel locomotives. Also during the summer months, we run trains on Wednesdays, so excursions for the public on Wednesdays as well.
So wild. If you think the history of this, the average person working on this in 1891, born in about 1825, 200 years of human interaction.
That is amazing.
That is amazing. Now let's talk about the TV and movie history, because you know I'm a movie and TV junkie. This train has appeared in more TV shows and more movies than most actors. Bonanza, Petticoat Junction, Green Acres, Rawhide, and it goes on and on and on. Not to mention the movies. It won an Academy Award for Clint Eastwood. It has done so much. Back here in the locomotive, gentlemen, introduce yourself.
Matthew Sagasser, the Chief Mechanical Officer.
And over here,
I'm Garrett Franklin, the Chief Operations Officer.
And you really do represent the new generation. I looked at all of the things that you were doing. Like, you're going to have to pay that forward and teach somebody else to keep this going another 100 years.
Yeah, well, that's the tradition of the railroad. You learn as a young guy, and then you keep on doing it until you can pass it along to the next person, and that's what keeps these things going.
All right, it takes 5 hours to get this going. If you want to take a trip, you better know in advance. It takes 5 hours to warm this thing up. Are we about ready?
We're about ready.
Are we about ready?
We're ready.
All right, and also, where we're going, we don't need roads. Yes, this is the train featured in one of my favorite movies of all time, Back to the Future. Matthew J. Fox actually ran on it. Keep in mind, Robert Zemeckis shot that movie, especially in the those parts, you know, practically. Sure, there was some CGI later in all the future and the time travel, but the train stuff was shot practically, actually running down a railroad, actually running in this train. All right, back here live. Are we ready?
We're ready.
We're ready?
We're ready.
All right. Again, where we're going, we don't need roads because we have tracks. For the first time on live television, Sierra number 13 is going to move out. It's not going to be a long run. Technically, it's just going to get some more fuel, and it does consume a lot. But if you want to talk about at least being kind of bio-friendly, this baby will eat anything, including used, not new, but used, displaced automobile motor oil. We're ready. Small step for a train, one giant leap for Sierra number 13. Built in 1891. Things you don't know about this train, it's actually been involved in several accidents. It's rolled over 3 times, crushing the engineer compartment that had to be rebuilt, put in service for World War I, out of service not long after that. It will be running continuously about twice a month, starting now. So if you want to join up with it, we'll link all the information to abc10.com. In the meantime, I guess we're leaving camera guy Hugh behind.
Yeah.
Have an awesome weekend. Don't forget to watch Take a Look at 9:30. Back to you, Walter.
All right, there they go. You got to go backwards sometimes before you go forwards in life, and there they go. That is Jamestown. What
Back
Jamestown
to the
is
future,
known.
as they say.
All right, there you go. All right. Old locomotive number 3 backing up and heading on out. Thank you, Hugh. Thank you, Mark S. Allen. That is just amazing to see that. That thing is a famous locomotive. All right. Whether you're hunting for a bargain, styling a unique look, or trying to shop sustainably, thrifting is trending. ABC 10's Becca Haberger shows us how to score big while shopping secondhand without getting overwhelmed.
Thrifting has gone from trendy to mainstream, and whether you're a seasoned bargain hunter or a first-timer, finding the good stuff takes more than just luck.
In the bag, okay?
First, start in your own closet. Know what you need before you walk through the door. At Goodwill locations, shoppers are greeted with in-season styles right up front.
Right now we're hitting into the heart of summer. So you've got, the jackets and ski gear and long pants and sweaters. We move them maybe away from the front of the store, make it easier for shoppers to come in and find swimsuits.
Goodwill Sacramento Valley and Northern Nevada's Chief Retail Officer Jeff Norquist says women's clothes make up the majority of their inventory and it tends to move fast.
60% of all the clothing we put out is women's clothes, and of that, it's again, back to seasonally trended items. I would say in the wintertime, long sleeve women's blouses are probably our best seller. In the summertime, it's short sleeve women's blouses. But again, we've got everything for everybody.
Another tip, don't sleep on the men's section. It's easier to navigate and it's a gold mine for some.
I mean, it's colorized, it's sized, and it's right near the front. It's easy to navigate, so if you're a man looking for a shirt or a belt or pants, you can find it pretty easily as well.
Also, where you shop matters too. Different neighborhoods offer different styles. For example, more fashionable pieces may be at a thrift store near a college campus. Vintage pieces might be in an older, more established neighborhood. And don't buy something just because it's inexpensive. A good question to ask yourself, would I pay full price for this? At Goodwill, they use their own system to make sure you don't pay full price.
Well, we have a good, better, best brand list, and we've recently lowered our prices across the board. So we train all of our processors in the warehouse on different brands and price it on a sliding scale based on those brands.
In Roseville, Becca Habiger, ABC10.
Yeah, go thrifting with Becca. She knows what's up. All right, coming up, we'll have the top stories we're following this morning, another look at your weather and your traffic. This is an ABC 10 morning news update. I'm Walt Gray. Here's what's happening on this Friday morning. Businesses in Manteca say they're impacted by a mile-long road project aimed at making Main Street safer by adding bike lanes, new signs, crosswalks, and a concrete median. Business owners say they were not notified about this initially, and construction now blocks customers from entering and exiting their stores. California State Parks implementing a new system for camping, making it easier for visitors to find that perfect site. It's all part of the customer-focused reservation upgrades announced by California State Parks. Visitors can now access campground availability on the website parks.ca.gov. This Sunday, the last chance to head to the State Fair. If you haven't been able to go, there's still time and the weather's fantastic. Today, the fair is working with SMUD to host a food drive in exchange for a free same-day ticket for today only. Donations being accepted at Cal Expo today only between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monica?
All right, get that State Fair in early today and get the benefits of free admission. Live outside, we have just a little bit of cloud cover streaming through. Now, this is all in association with the same weather that brought us active storms last night. Temperatures right now, upper 50s, low 60s, getting us going on this Friday. 54, clear skies for Tahoe, but expect those storms later today. Temperatures in the valley in the 80s, as well as the foothills for the afternoon. Near 70 for the Tahoe Basin, 60s, and cool along the coast. There's that chance of thunderstorms for today. Expect a near repeat for tomorrow and Sunday for the higher elevations. Locally for the valley, staying unseasonably cool, a little warmer early next week.
All right, a traffic stop right now. Everything looks fantastic. In and around Sacramento, though, you see some issues with 160, Business 80, so keep an eye on all of that. In the southern part of our region, Tracy to Livermore, yellow, so that's actually really good. Stockton, Modesto, Tracy, you see that Tracy to Livermore, just 25 minutes. It's usually double that on other weekdays. And into downtown Sacramento, Elk Grove and El Dorado Hills, all in the green. Good time to come in. Here's what's next, coming up in 1 minute, the ABC 10 Plus recap. Look at the headlines you may have missed. At 8:30 in the news now, how to save on school supplies, student vaccinations, readjusting to routines, a back-to-school guide for families. Your California Life's at 9. After that, 9:30, a new episode of Take a Look. Marquez Allen gives us a deep dive into the new Fantastic Four. Normally, say go to the movies to get out of the heat.
Go to the State Fair or enjoy the cool weather for today.
This is like the best fair weather they've had, I think, since they switched to these dates.
Yeah, in a long, long time. Yeah, unseasonably cool weather continuing right through the end of July. I know a lot of people have been thinking, oh, we're going to get big heat in the beginning of August. We actually see highs in the 80s for the first few days of August.
Remarkable.
I know.
Folks, have a great rest of your day and weekend.